And I know my colleagues know this, and I've had 7 of my former Republican colleagues in the Senate come to me and say they agreed with us. But I promised I'd never say the names, and I never will tell anybody. But the reason they did that was they said, Joe, if I vote for X, Y, or Z, they're going to primary and it'll cost me my election. Not a lot of political courage, but an explanation of why there's a lot of people who believe what we're doing is right, but just a little work.
Of Biden's proposed plan. Assuming the per borrower cost of cancellation remains unchanged, the groups estimate that the adjustment program could cost $175 billion in foregone payments and interest. We have some major news. There are upcoming changes to Social Security, and it may take effect sooner than we expected. As Social Security is adjusted on an annual basis, lawmakers are working together to improve the program. On one hand, bigger monthly payouts may arrive for many beneficiaries, but a certain group of people could see their tax liability increase. For over 49 million retired workers who depend on Social Security benefits, the program is a vital financial lifeline that helps cover their monthly expenses. This retirement program has a significant impact, lifting more than 20 million people out of poverty. It includes 15 million individuals aged 65 and above. But Social Security is not a static system. It continuously adapts to changes in the U.S. inflation rate, life expectancy, and other relevant factors. Although specific changes won't be announced by the SSA until October, there are several changes that will take effect in 2024. The most anticipated change is the cost of living adjustment, which is an annual increase intended to keep the pace with the rising cost of living. Due to high inflation, though, people are having questions about it. In 2023, beneficiaries reached the highest COLA in 41 years, but the COLA for 2024 is expected to be more modest. The nonpartisan senior advocacy group, the Senior Citizens League, estimated that the COLA for 2024 will be 3%. For the average retired worker, though, receiving $1,900 would mean an additional $55 per month next year. Unfortunately, though, the purchasing power of Social Security benefits have been declining regularly since the start of the century, and any increase actually won't even adequately address the estimated loss in purchasing power that is experienced by seniors since 2000. Another change for the upcoming year involves high-earning workers who will see an increase in payroll taxes due to a rise in the maximum taxable earnings cap. The payroll tax contributes about 90% of the program's revenue, and only about 6% of workers reach the maximum taxable earnings cap a year. Additionally, high earners collect Social Security benefits. They may experience a large monthly payout, as the maximum monthly benefit amount at a full retirement age is expected to rise in 2024. To qualify for the maximum Social Security benefit, you must meet 3 criteria. You must be the retirement age of full, work at least 35 years, and reach or surpass the maximum taxable earnings cap at all 35 years used in calculation.
I recognize the gentleman from New York, Mr. Jacobs, for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all the panelists and the speakers.
At least I didn't. Too many people that were working, or the working people were making too much money. I just thought that was not the best answer to how to get it down. Now, one reason we've seen inflation fall by 2/3 without losing jobs is corporate profits are coming back down to earth. The excesses are being eliminated by the corporations. We have more to do, but inflation is now the lowest point it's been in 2 years. When the Inflation Reduction Act was passed a year ago today.
Now they're getting ready to pass it, and the lawmakers in the House are ready to move to vote on a stopgap spending bill and to prevent a government shutdown. But states have been actually talking about tax cutting sprees, and now a proposed Pennsylvania tax break could result in big tax cuts. If the tax breaks happen, this will not be good. It's fueled by surging revenues. States have been slashing taxes for individuals and businesses for the past 3 years. But tax cuts are expected to come to an end in some states in the fiscal year. Some 25 states have cut individual income tax rates since 2021. And the lawmakers in many states have been approving tax cuts, aiming to help residents financially. New property and rent relief rebate checks are going to be sent out, and these payments are worth billions of dollars and will equal hundreds of dollars for many people. It's fueled by surging revenues. States have been slashing tax for individuals and businesses for the past 3 years. But tax cuts are expected to come to an end in some states in the fiscal year. Some 25 states have cut individual income tax rates since 2021. It includes 22 states that reduced their top marginal rates. In 2023 alone, at least 8 states approved rate reductions. And Arkansas is trimming its top individual income tax rate to 4.7% after reducing it from 5.5%. Aside from individual income tax cuts, states have proposed rebate checks for their residents. Last year, 17 states issued inflation relief payments as well. And now, if you're a Massachusetts resident, income tax refunds were available to you if you paid personal income taxes and filed your return by October 17. If you file your state return by October 17, you should be able to get your stimulus check back. Nearly $100 million in rebates will be sent out to residents across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Starting today, over 4 million older homeowners, renters, and people with disabilities will be issued rebates on rent and property taxes paid. We have difficult news, everybody. The United States is expected to be drowning in debt. As interest rates and inflation remains very high, things are actually looking pretty bad. But first, if you would like a free $75 Amazon gift card, all you gotta do is enter this code right here on the Amazon checkout aisle. I just want to say thank you for your support, everybody, and thank you for watching my videos. Now, there is a new Social Security update. Experts say that major adjustments to Social Security benefits would be the best way to address senior poverty. There are several newly proposed changes that would help many Social Security recipients, especially at a time when the program's finances are shaky. The U.S. retirement system is actually sprawling complex. It's a so-called three-leg stool of Social Security payments, a workplace savings plan, and an individual wealth. But is the system falling short in the primary goal of achieving a secure system for retirement of Americans? Well, about 20% of Americans over the age of 65 live in poverty. This ranks the U.S. behind 30 other countries. According to new data, only Mexico ranks worse than the United States in terms of old age poverty debt. Now, that means that those among people who are poor, the average income is so low that you're below the poverty line. And just these countries have worse income inequality amongst seniors. For one, the overall U.S. poverty rate is high relative to other developed nations, a dynamic that carries over into old age. The U.S. is also a developed country to not only offer a mandatory work credit, but an important factor in determining retirement benefit amounts to mothers during maternity leave. Most of the nations also give mandatory credits to parents who leave the workforce for a few years to take care of the young kids. Experts say that these are the facets of the system that should be tweaked. Researchers seem to agree that a looming Social Security funding shortfall is perhaps the most pressing issue facing seniors. Longer lifespans and baby boomers hurtling into the economy into retirement years are reassuring the solvency of the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund. It started to run out of money in 2023. At that point, payroll taxes would actually fund an estimated 77% of promised retirement benefits, absent congressional action. And raising Social Security payouts at the low end of the income spectrum would actually help combat old age poverty, but also combat more money. Millions of retirees actually received their first August Social Security paycheck in less than a week, and they will be worth as much as $5,000 for people who delay their retirement until they are 70 years old. But the first wave of payments will go out in 4 days, and the second wave will go out during the 1st and 10th of the month, and of course the final one is through the 16th and